Hi there, I am Calvin Armerding. I'm a senior associate at Travelers Rest Counseling Associates. I'm also the president of the South Carolina Society for Adlerian Psychology.
And I'm Lindsay Hill. I am also a senior associate at Travelers Rest Counseling Associates, and I'm the vice president of the South Carolina Adlerian Society.
Oh, and the secretary of the North American Society of Adlerian Psychology. So we got a pro over here.
That's so important.
And we have a really special announcement that we want to fill you in on. We just won a grant fairly recently, and we here in South Carolina, we are starting a regional postgraduate training program in Adlerian Psychology. So the idea of this is that, let's say that you've got your master's degree and you're working toward licensure, you have your licensure, and you're within maybe driving distance or travel. I don't know. You can fly out to come do this program too, but we're asking folks to commit to a 1-year program with an option to add a second year. And basically it's just methodical, in-depth training in Adlerian psychology. I don't know if you want to talk with a little bit about the kinds of things that we're going to be teaching.
Sure. So I just want to clarify this, because this is something that I think you did too. We needed this right out of grad school, like demonstrative skill training. Like you read it on paper, but like how do you do it? And we're going to show you that with not just us, but with other experts. So we're going to meet every other month. We're going to have really fun retreats, the first one being in September. There's going to be 6 workshops, and we're going to have optional get-togethers, and there's going to be mentorships, things like that.
Yeah, and these, optional get-togethers, these are going to be, highly social. We also want to, connect our fellows with, by the way, we should say, this is called the Alfred Adler's Fellows Program. We should probably give you the title of this.
We'll have it go across the...
Yeah. So this is, we want our fellows really to be connected to one another. And there are going to be some, let's say, just professional development opportunities in connecting with other people. But these get-togethers, it'll be like an optional film screening where, we'll watch a movie. We've already picked some out that, and we'll just look at it through the lens of Adlerian psychology. Those things will be optional. You will have required, which trust me, these things will not be unpleasant for you, but required mentorship and required small group get-togethers, which those can be virtual. You don't have to worry about travel for those things. In terms of the workshops themselves, these are the things that we'll be doing every other month. So again, just 12 months in a year, we'll do them every other month, 6 workshops. We'll be teaching some of those. And then also we have 2 visiting instructors, one just up from Columbia, South Carolina, Paul Rasmussen. He'll be teaching on early recollections and dreams and how we as Adlerians work with those. And then we will have the illustrious Allison Schaefer, our friend from Toronto. She's going to come down and do a course on families and on family constellation. So these are folks. These are very, very accomplished people, good friends of ours, folks who we've learned a lot from. We're trying to get the best of the best to teach for you. In terms of what's going to happen kind of in between these workshops, can you talk about, we do have some like semi-academic kinds of stuff. Can you talk about the assignments in between?
Yeah, it's pretty non-academic. It's just really for your own professional, personal development. So it's not, you don't need to write some Shakespearean novel. I don't know why I always use that, but I do.
Since he didn't write novels.
He didn't write novels. And there's going to be some non-academic assignments.
Yeah, it's just like reading, and we do have some curated reading assignments for you. We want you to read Alfred Adler in his own words, and we want you to read other folks who are Adlerians.
But not like the whole thing. We have little snippets.
This is very, very manageable reading loads. We promise you will not be spending all of your time reading. And then just some non-academic kind of responsive writing to this. We also do...
The Telos Project.
That's right. So a couple years ago, I developed a website it's basically Adlerian lifestyle investigation that's designed... It's really self-directed, and so it's something that you can do on your own time. And we want our fellows, we want them to develop professionally, but we also want them to be developing personally. And we don't think that is possible unless we are to some degree introspective and we sort a few things out about ourselves. And so this program is a way to get there, of course, not the only way. But it's just a useful tool. So, and that'll be something that'll be included in the program. It's not something you would need to like purchase outside of the program. It'll be just part of. We should mention we are going to charge tuition for this. We feel that it's a very, very reasonable cost for what you're getting. All of the hours, all these workshops will count towards continuing education credits, which might be more interesting to fully licensed professionals. But also, let's say that you were to see the tuition cost and you say, "Oh, that's a little bit much for me.
We have scholarships.
We have scholarships. We really want this to be accessible to folks who could benefit from it. And so we would really encourage you, don't get too scared about tuition. And honestly, the tuition is really not very scary anyways. It's really a very reasonable cost.
So who might be interested in this?
If you're a therapist, or maybe you're coming straight out of a master's program, I think we'd be interested in that. But certainly we want folks who are going to practice counseling, psychotherapy, something of this kind. And maybe, you feel like you've got a pretty good understanding of how to work with folks, but there are just times that you get a little bit lost and you're not exactly sure where to go. Maybe you have a hard time, I think, like even we do, with conceptualizing cases. One great thing about Adlerian psychology is it's been criticized for not being like this intensely technical approach. But what's the upside of that is that if you learn Adlerian psychology, it really is a worldview and as much a philosophy as it is like a set of skills. And so it's a way of seeing people and understanding how they function. That really can integrate quite well with other approaches. We're not going to have you like drink some Adlerian Kool-Aid or something. Like, we're not starting a cult, okay? It's pretty broad. If you want to improve your capacity to practice counseling or psychotherapy, if you're looking to connect with some other professionals, if you're looking for...
You can build a community.
Yeah, to build a bit of a community, to get some continuing education hours that are really, really high quality. Again, that will involve demonstrations. I like that you mentioned that, where you can see, like, we will show you what we do. We will not just talk about what we do as Adlerians, we'll show it to you. And I think that that's pretty unique. Give folks the timeline. So when is this all starting?
Well, the kickoff is with the retreat in September.
Early September.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, when we hope, it's October, that the classes actually begin. Mm-hmm. So that gives us a pretty long runway. We're going to have a link with you to fill out interest if you have it. That way we can kind of see where everybody's coming from, so we can pick a really good location so it's easy for everybody. But yeah, September and then October is when we're going to start, and it'll be a year. It's going to be like every other month or something. That's why we did that, because we tend to be teaching every other month and traveling, so
going to conferences and such.
It fell perfectly, so it's kismet.
So the things that we would want you to know, if you are interested in this, for one, you can shoot us just an email of interest if you have questions at alfredadlerfellows@gmail.com. We'll put that in the description below. We have an application form. We'll also put that in there. We don't want you to worry too much about the application. It's really more for us to gather some data and make sure that we're actually going to be helpful to you. It's not so much, show us how amazing and spectacular you are. That's not so much what we're concerned with. We also would just welcome you all to ask questions even outside of just interest in joining the program. If there are some things that you'd like to know or talk about or anything like this, would be great. Oh, the only other thing I'll mention is that some of these workshops, they'll be closed and just available to our fellows. Some of them will be open to the public. And so even if you couldn't join the fellows program as a fellow, there are going to be some opportunities for you to come and learn alongside our fellows. And those, we'll just, there'll be like a reasonable continuing education rate for that or something like that. So anything else you want to add?
No, just we're very excited.
Yeah, we've been planning this for several years. It feels very exciting to get this going. Please do send us an email, fill out the form, apply. We have a deadline, I believe we're shooting for May 31 for a deadline for those applications. So please do get them in by then, but that gives you plenty of time. So thanks so much for listening, and we're really excited to hopefully see more of you. Thanks so much.